Hey guys, it's me, Warren here. Thank you for watching my channel, Buildings from the Ground Up. In today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about energy performance contracts. What is an energy performance contract? An energy performance contract is a contract between either a municipality or a school district, between them and a vendor, to reduce energy costs by upgrading equipment, uh, uh, um, by adding energy efficiency lightings and other devices that might save the district energy. So theoretically, by updating your equipment and reducing grid and utility costs, the district can potentially save hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. So, for example, if you enter into an energy performance contract like my school district did for $25 million, potentially over 18 years, you are supposed to reduce your energy and utility and grid costs so significantly that the upgrade will pay for itself. Now, NYSERDA, which is the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, um, will back this um, energy performance contract, and it is through their authority that school districts are allowed to enter into these energy performance contracts. Of course, any energy performance contract that the district undertakes, it would have to be submitted to by the contractor, the winning bidder. You have to put out a request for proposal, remember RFP, and seek proposals for contractors to undertake these energy performance contracts. So once the winning bidder is approved, then he has to submit the energy performance contract to the New York State Education Department. So, again, in theory, an energy performance contract is undertaken by school district to save the school district significant energy costs by updating equipment, adding smart devices, uh, um, reducing lighting, anything that they could do to save energy that will reduce the total cost and potentially save the districts hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Like in this case, my district undertook an energy performance contract for 25 million. The cost has to be uh, 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 made up over 18 years, or NYSERDA will not um, approve the energy performance contract. So now my problem with energy performance contracts, and I have several, before a school district enters into an energy performance contract, I would suggest they have someone outside of that contract, outside of the school district, who is not particularly a stakeholder. So have someone externally go over that contract. Now, as a part of the energy performance contract, the district has a representative. So in my case, we had Energia um, as our engineers that supposedly was supposed to represent the district, and they worked with Honeywell to oversee. Well, Honeywell was the winning bidder and the contractor, and Energia was supposed to be our contractor, so they got a percentage to look out for the district's interest. Just from my experience working with them closely over the last few years, we just completed our energy performance contract before I retired. Energia, as a representative for the school district, did not earn their money. They were horrible. So, um, I had many occasions where Honeywell's contractors who were performing the work at the district were doing field order changes, and Energia had no idea what was going on. They never came to us as the client and presented that change. There were never no specs submitted about these field change orders. It was horrible. They were horrible. Whatever Honeywell wanted to do and their contractors that were on site, Energia was went right along with them. I could tell you two particular circumstances where Energia just did not earn their money. One, the contractor was installing a brand new condensate boiler at one of the schools, and for some reason the piping didn't work, so they wanted to literally drill a 1.5 inch hole through the foundation of the building so that they could run some ductwork. Energia did not had no idea what was going on. They never submitted that change to us as the client, and they were just on board with whatever Honeywell wanted to do. So that was a major issue. Another event we had where they were installing solar panels, and the footings was right in the middle of a sewer drain pipe. So they had to make some changes. Again, Honeywell just went about making changes with their contractor. I personally had to see them and discuss with them what was going on. Energy had no idea what was going on, nor were they interested in receiving change orders from Honeywell, drawings from Honeywell. I had to step in and insist that we have those things, and they still circumvented my authority as the client. So, Energia, thumbs down. Honeywell, I'm kind of up in the air about. I had several discussions with Honeywell about what they were doing. Once they got that signed contract, they did what they wanted to do. So I was not happy with them uh, uh, either. But with that being said, an energy performance contract is a great thing. Some of the schools got the most up to date boiler equipment. And so we were very happy with that. But another big downfall, and this is where energy performance is not worth it. So if you're a school district, you're thinking about uh, uh, um, going into an energy performance contract, call someone. Call me. My services are available for a small fee, of course, but I can tell you the parameters, the heating and the cooling parameters that were set contractually by Honeywell before I came there, and right before I came, they were already getting ready to enter into a contract. So the contract was signed not long after that. And so I never had a chance to review the contract. And I am telling you from experience, some of those contracted parameters, heating and cooling limits are ridiculous. So what happens with the energy performance contract, they have to make back whatever sum you put out. For example, $25 million. They have to save enough energy to have enough energy savings for the school to equal a minimum of $25 million. You have to have $25 million in savings over the next 18 years, let's say. Now, if the school district or your facility is not saving enough energy to meet that $25 million or that amount, that whatever the amount is that you put out for your energy performance contract, then Honeywell has to guarantee your annual savings. Now, what happens if you don't reach or if you don't stick to the parameters set by Honeywell or whoever your contractor is in that contract? For example, in the middle of summer, one limit might be cooling at 72 degrees or 73 degrees or higher. So if you set your boiler, or I'm sorry, your cooling at, let's say, 68, 69, 70, if you don't keep that at 72, 3 degrees or 72 or 73 degrees or higher, whatever's set in that contract, then you are in violation of that contract. And guess what? Honeywell will not be obligated to pay you the annual sum if you don't get that in savings. As long as you're outside of that parameter set by Honeywell and in that contract, then that is their escape clause. So be very careful when you enter into an energy performance contract. It's obviously a lot of information to take in, and it's a detailed contract, but several things you could take out of that will help you. One, any field changes by any contractor has to be approved by administration or the Board of Education. That's critically important, right? With another one that's critically important, that your temperature settings. You have to take a look at your temperature settings and your parameters set by Honeywell in that contract in order to get those savings. So they will guarantee those savings as long as you're within those parameters. So in the summertime, if you have, for example, teachers complaining because Honeywell has access to your BMS system, your building management system, which controls your heating and your cooling, they have 24-hour access. That's in the contract. They have to have that. When you enter into contract, and into an energy performance contract, your contractor is going to put in there that they have to have 24-hour everyday access to your building management system so they could make the changes so that you could meet the parameters set by them. Now, if the teachers are complaining it's cold or it's hot, and you want to change that because too many people are complaining, you are outside of that parameter set by Honeywell or your contractor. Therefore, they don't have to guarantee your annual savings. That's their way out. So be very careful. My name is Warren, building from the ground up. I will be more than happy with you to sit down with you and provide more information to you. You could just send me an email. There is a plethora of information that you should know about before you enter into that energy performance contract. Okay, like me, subscribe me, do whatever you do. The next episode will be coming soon. I'm losing count, but I know it's going to be a good one. So make sure you tune in, like, and subscribe. Again, this is Warren, Buildings from the Ground Up. Thank you for watching.